What's up, people? Everyone, how are you? Happy Friday. Paco says happy Friday. Paco, what are you doing? Paco, say hello. Paco, no. Anyway, happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony. Today is Friday, as I just said, and it's a Q&A. So for those of you who don't know, if you're a new subscriber, every Friday we do a Q&A, and it's been going for a couple years now, at least, I think. And if you would like to participate in the Q&A, just leave your question in the comment section below and it'll be featured. Sometimes I get way too many questions, but I still try to accommodate. And sometimes, like today, I don't have all that many, so which is cool. Yeah, I love your questions, and if you have anything that you want to share or again ask, just do it again in the comment section below. All right, so today I am wearing my swatch. This is the Doe of the Dead because it's The Simpsons. You got Marge, you've got whatever, I can't even, you got Homer, and then you have Bart. Bart glows. It's pretty cool. Has loom. Anyway, so since it's Halloween season, spooky season, I like to change it up. It doesn't always have to be about a luxury watch, right? Anyway, let's roll the intro and we'll get into it. All right, so this first question comes from UMQ5147. I have a Kermit, James Carlton, Pepsi, and other Rolex watches. Is adding a sub a good idea? It could be my beater watch. If the answer is yes, date or no date, and why? I don't know what the James Carlton is, man. Sorry. Well, yeah, it's always a good idea to add a sub to your collection. I mean, if you don't have one, you should get one. And I would get the no date. That's like simple question. Do you want a new one? 124060. Go with that one. I'll just start with that one. And no date. Why? Because you've got a Kermit. It has a date. You've got the Cyclops. You've got a Pepsi. It has a date. It has a Cyclops. No date sub. Again, no date. You've got a clean dial. You don't have to have the date on it. You already got two watches with at least two with the Cyclops and the date. So why have another one? You'll have three watches that look very, very similar to each other. And plus, I think for some reason, as much as I love the Cyclops on the Datejust, on the President, the sports models for the most part, for some reason on the sub, the symmetry of the way the dial is, it just looks so clean without the date. That's what I think. Thanks to your question, man. Next one comes from Nikon FM2N. I take it you're a photographer or you're really into Nikon cameras. I wanted to know your opinion on the new Breitling NFL team collection. Cheers from Miami. I don't like them, dude. I mean, I don't care how much of a fan you may be. I just think it's kind of cheesy. But yeah, look, man, I was a huge Chicago Bears fan, and a Rams fan. I'm from LA, but I was, my whole family's from Chicago, so I was a Bears fan. My great uncle was on the Bears. I still would not buy a Breitling Chicago Bears watch or a Breitling Rams watch. I think if you're just that super psycho nuts that you have to have a watch with your team on it, but a luxury watch, then why not do it? I mean, it's kind of fun, I guess, but I know that I would imagine there's so many other places you can get just a beater watch that's a good or a decent watch that has your team logo on it. I don't know how much these watches cost. I have seen them, not in person, not in the flesh or in the metal, as a lot of people say. But I don't know. I think it cheapens the brand, actually. I don't get me wrong. I mean, it doesn't cheapen your team. it cheapens the brand. Why would a luxury brand like that do that? But I guess a lot of brands are doing collabs and things like that. So, it's up to you whether you guys like them or not. So, and speaking of that, what kind of watches are you guys wearing tonight? I don't ever ask enough questions about what are you guys doing, So, but yeah, I don't know. Good luck with that, though. Thanks for your question. I appreciate it. Next question comes from Baron_Red. Tony, do you have any comments about the new limited edition green ceramic Zenith Pilot? Yeah, I think it's awesome. It looks very cool. So again, it's the collab thing, isn't it? Zenith partnered with Porter. I don't know anything about Porter. I know they're, I think, a Japanese brand that makes bags. I don't know if they make anything else, but they've partnered with Porter. I would imagine that Porter are a luxury bag brand, because, you're going to have a $10,000 Zenith and a $30 bag. I don't think that would work, right? But the watch themselves, they're basically, they're, green ceramic. I think you have like an orange second hand on the 3 hands, and maybe the chronograph as well. I'm trying to think. You got a 40 millimeter case that's going to be on the 3 hand. You got a 3620 El Primero movement. You got 2 straps that it comes with. One is a Cadura Effect green strap, which it looks like Cadura, but it's actually rubber. And it'll of course have a deployant buckle on it with the Zenith logo. I said a 3620 Zenith movement, 100 meters water resistance. Great freaking watch. The chronograph is going to be a little bit more expensive because it's a chronograph. It's an El Primero chronograph. Believe that's going to be 42 millimeters. So you sort of pick which one you like. It's going to be released on, where are we now? We're October. I think they're released now. So again, I don't know much about the brand as Porter goes. And I don't know if they're doing a package where you buy the watch and you get a bag, or you buy the bag and you get a watch, or you buy the watch and the bag and you get something else. I don't know, but the watches look cool. They look really cool. The Pilot looks like it would be a combination of a field watch and a pilot watch. You know what I mean? So, or a military pilot watch, because it's a khaki green. So, yeah, they look cool. I like them. I'd like to try one on. Thanks for your question, man. This next one comes from Austin Cragen 7391. Great video, Tony, as always. Thanks, man. I've always looked at higher end pieces because those are the craze and desires of many. But recently I've been looking at Lan Heritage line, possibly the best brand for true reissues in accuracy and quantity. The Lan Tuxedo, Silver Arrow, French, Military National are all great options. I'm looking at nice, affordable watches. I think people overlook this line too much. What do you think of the Heritage line? Also, a great model that no one talks about in that line is the Heritage Classic Chronograph 1946. Great dial, numerals, and history. Cheers, and great content, Tony. Thanks. Yeah, I agree, man. Longines are, it's not like they're completely under the radar. People do talk about them, not so much. You know what I mean? People are all about the hype. You know what I mean? This is all it is, and it's all it really kind of almost, I think, ever will be. It's, I hate to say it, when I talk about other brands, I generally don't get too many views compared to, like, if it's Rolex, or like my last video I did, I bought a new Tudor and it got like 18,000 views in just a few days, which is great. And I appreciate all the views, but then you do other, talk about other watches and you get just people aren't interested for some reason. I don't know why. Longines make a great watch. The Tuxedo watch is a phenomenal watch, and you're smart too for going for something like, there's not any real resale value to the watches, but the watches are cheap enough that if you even, it doesn't matter, for a couple $1,000, you know what I mean? It's like, they're great watches. They do have third-party movements in them, but and if you look at the chronograph 1946 dial, I believe those have Breguet style numerals. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's a beautiful watch, and I think it's a great watch. You could put something like that have a similar aesthetic to a Patek Philippe. I wouldn't say the Tuxedo does, but very reliable, very affordable luxury watch. that no one talks about for the most part. Yeah, good for you, man. It's that whole thing where people get caught up in the hype of just overspending on luxury watches when you really don't need to spend all that much money, I mean, and I have another question coming up about Tudor, so I'm going to kind of go in that maybe a little bit as well with, anyway. So the Silver Arrow, I don't know much about. The French military national, I don't know those watches. I just know the ones that I know, and the GMTs, but having said that, yes, Longines, great watches, man. Thanks for your question. This next one comes from BMedrum, BMedrum. Tony, love the channel. Thanks, man. I love that you love my channel. Should I trade in my Speedmaster 39mm automatic vintage Breitling? Is that the speedy reduced? Is that what they call it? Anyway, so should I trade my Speedmaster vintage Breitling and a 1960s Omega Seamaster in for a one watch idea? Rolex Explorer 36mm. Dump the collection for something that I wear every day, a one watch collection with a few other beaters for the beach and lawn mowing. Yeah, dude, get rid of that Omega, man. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, dude. A vintage Breitling. I mean, what's the history with these watches? You know what I mean? Did they come from someone, or what kind of, do you have any sort of, does it have any meaning to you? You know what I mean? Is it like something that was like your grandfather's watch that was left to you or whatever? Yeah, I wouldn't do it. You got, I mean, the Speedmaster 39, whatever. A Rolex Explorer 36, I mean, that's a great everyday sort of a beater watch. You can wear that while you're lawn mowing as well, man. It's up to you, but generally what I found is that you trade in 3 watches for one, you're going to want 3 watches again, then you're going to want 5, and then you're going to want 10, and then it goes on from there. I don't know how far down that rabbit hole you are, but, it's up to you. I don't know, I would almost say keep your watches and, just save up and get a Rolex Explorer and then figure out if you want to be a one watch guy. You know what I mean? But I appreciate your question. Thanks. Next one comes from WB Collection. WKB Collection 5046. Love the channel. Thanks, man. What are your thoughts on the Glashütte original Panamatic Lunar? And what dial coloring would you find most appealing? Yeah, I think Glashütte original, GO, as they say, like, the lingo, bruh, is GO. Hey, GO, bro. I think they're extremely underrated, and they're a great, like, alternative to a Lange. You can't get a Lange, but you can get a Glashütte original. Plus, they're like a third of the price, if not more, maybe, than the Lange. They're a beautiful watch. They're the way that the dials, the symmetry of the dial is really cool. You've got the day, the time, and the time. Sorry, you got a small seconds, which is not so small. You've got a big date, and you've got a moon phase on that thing. I think they're beautiful watches. You can get those for about $10,000. What color? I don't know. And you ought to see the movements, man, on those things. They're decorated. They're all in-house, man. Beautiful. Really, it's a beautiful watch, and the company is amazing. I think they are awesome. Glashütte original, they're in the same small little village as in Glashütte. There's Langenson and Glashütte, Nomos. You've got Mule, and Moritz Grossman, I think, and a couple others. But yeah, I don't know. I think blue's cool. I think white is cool. I've never tried one on. I don't think I've seen one in person. I haven't tried one on though, or have I? I think I did at King Jewelers in Nashville. So yeah, I'd pick one up. Yeah, I'd do it, man. Awesome watches, man. Germans make phenomenal watches, especially in Glashütte. Thanks for your question, man. The next question, the historical man. Hey, Tony, do you ever blind buy watches without trying them on? I know you're mainly an AD guy, but I'm curious if you've ever been so eager to buy a watch that you blind bought one online. All the best, brother. Yeah, I bought a JLC. GG Le Coute. Which one? Oh my gosh. Is it three hand? Is it a three hand or a two hand? Three hand. JLC. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I was totally like split boggle. I just can't think of the model. But anyway, that sucks. I hate that when I do that. But yeah, I bought it and then I got it here. I unboxed it. And at first, the watch wasn't even in the box. It was in another part. And I thought the watch got shipped without the box. And then I looked at it and realized I couldn't read the time on it. And I was just like, oh, why did I do this? And I sent it back, you know? So I wanted the blue dial after that, and I never did it. Never got it. So yeah, I have. Try your watches on before you buy them, you know? That's my recommendation. Thanks for your question, dude. Next question. This just basically comes from Momo Z283. Thoughts on the BB41 monochrome? Black Bay monochrome. It's all right. I don't think it's all that special. It's 41 millimeter. You can get it on the Oyster style bracelet or the Jubilee style bracelet, whatever you want to call it, as far as them, the 5-link or the 3-link. It's a good homage to the Submariner, but more of a modern Submariner, I think. But except it has an aluminum bezel. It's bulky. I tried it on. It was bulky like the 124060. And there was nothing that really stood out that was special about it that made me go, damn, other than it's half the price of, or a little more than half the price of a Submariner. I would save up and get a Submariner, or, you know, that's what I would do. As far as the Black Bays, the Black Bay 58, I like that because it's more of a vintage sub. You know, the Black Bay 54 has got more of a vintage aesthetic to it. You know what I mean? So the monochrome to me is kind of like Tudor saying, "Hey, we're gonna make a modern sub, but still put an aluminum bezel on it." That's what they should have. They should have just put a ceramic bezel on it. So it's okay. I mean, 60-hour power reserve. 70-hour power reserve, I think. Another thing is you're not that it matters, anyone's going to be diving with it, but it has 200 meters. The sub has 300 meters as far as the modern sub. I would just get a sub, but it's up to you. So anyway, you guys, I appreciate everything, and like, subscribe if you want, and do all that cool stuff that all the other YouTubers tell you to do. Thanks.